What's up, guys? So it's been a little while since I made a video, but today I got a smoke kit for my paramotor. It's definitely a day that we could put the smoke kit on, but we're definitely not doing any flying. It's about -1 out and 40-mile-per-hour winds. So yeah, here's the smoke kit from ppgsmoke.com. Let's take a look and check it out. So you get the container here. I believe the pump is built into this neoprene case here on the side, and that's what also holds the batteries. We have the rubber hose, a check valve, and the injector that goes into the exhaust. It's pretty nice quality. I'm not sure exactly where or how I'm going to mount the switch yet, but we'll take a look at that. If you take a look inside the bottle, we have the silicone line comes through. It's weighted at the bottom so that this stays at the bottom of this. All right, and it just looks like it takes 4 AA batteries. Awesome. The injector comes with some simple instructions, shows you how to put it together. So I guess the next thing is let's go to the garage and we'll put this smoke kit on. We won't be able to use it today, but we'll use it soon, that's for sure. But first I'm going to remove my exhaust, because I don't want to drill anything in here and potentially have any kind of metal fragments go back into the engine. It might be a little overkill, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. So we're going to take off the exhaust first, and then we will drill our hole and put it all back together. Okay, so in the instructions here it says drill a 7mm hole 7.5 centimeters from your exhaust exit. You could just use a ruler. I just have this handy, so I'm using this now. I'm going to measure 75 millimeters roughly from the exhaust exit. We'll say it's right about there. I'll make a little score line. Okay, so I marked where I want to make my hole. I'm going to put it on the underside, so it's kind of facing in towards the paramotor. It'll make more sense when I actually put this exhaust on. But I'm first going to use a 1/8 inch bit, and then I'm going to use, it's not quite 7 millimeters, but it's 6.92, pretty close. So I'm going to do this to make a pilot hole, and then I'll finish it up with this bit. Like that. There we go, perfect.
Step 2, insert riv nut and compress.
3, apply high temp thread lock to the injection nozzle threads. Tighten injection nozzle, ensure washer is in place. Sounds easy enough. So what I'm doing is I'm taking an M5 bolt, putting in a 5mm washer on here, and then I'm putting 3 M6 nuts onto the bolt. Then another M5 washer, and then the riv nut. So I'm going to tighten this up and compress this. I'm going to use an impact gun to do that. So I got an 8mm on here. And it's important that when you do this, you don't want to over tighten this. You want to just get it tight enough, and then kind of maybe do it by hand, or just look into the exhaust and check on it. Because if you over tighten it, you're going to end up stripping it. And then if you strip it, you don't have anything for your injector to thread onto. So I'm gonna put this 8mm impact on here, and then I'm gonna hold it with a 10mm. Looks really nice in there. So now all I have to do is back this off with an 8mm wrench, and we have successfully installed our riv nut. So you can see, it looks pretty nice. Nice and sturdy, and it's, next thing we need to do is put this washer on here that it came with, put some Loctite, and tighten the injector. Also, a pro tip for you guys: when you do this, make sure that you have your exhaust flange on this side of the riv nut before you tighten it, because mine was on the other side and it just barely slips over. If these tolerances were any tighter, I wouldn't have had this been able to get across, and I would have had to take out the riv nut. So just be mindful of that. Okay, so now that it's all done, I screwed this back in. You can see the injector nozzle kind of angles in, like towards the paramotor, in other words, away from the prop, which is what I wanted, so I'm happy with the way that looks. Now I just need to figure out where I'm going to mount the smoke fluid reservoir and how I'm gonna mount this button on my throttle. I have the reservoir attached on the top to the frame of the paramotor and the rear spar, and then the bottom I have just attached to the frame. It's about a foot away from the propeller, but it's also in line with the cage netting. It might not be the best spot for it, so I might relocate it later, but we should be ready to at least test this out now.
Hey, smoke time.
Now, it's time to go somewhere a little nicer, so let's go sync it up.
That was a little shady at first. It's pretty windy today.
Alright, so I tried out the smoke kit for a little bit, and I kind of want to see more smoke. So right now I'm going to actually take my injector out, and I'm going to bore it out to about 2 millimeters, and hopefully that'll make all the difference. I'll be able to create a lot more smoke from it, so let's get to it. Okay, so we got the injector out, and I have a 2 millimeter drill bit here, which I'm going to use to drill the end of the injector out. So let's do that. I'm working with limited tools here, so bear with me. Sweet, perfect. So now we're just going to reinstall this over here, put some Loctite on it, and hopefully it will be producing a lot more smoke. So we shall see.
Okay. Got the engine warmed up. Got the chase cam laid out. So now we get to try the new smoke system, drilled out to 2 millimeters. Damn! Oh yeah, that's sweet. I would say that's definitely an improvement over what we had before. Let's give it another shot here. Oh yeah. Full circle. Now that the smoke kit is drilled out, it's pretty damn legit. I'm pretty stoked, I'm pretty happy. Now I just need to practice doing wing overs through smoke circles. Sun's almost down. Smoke kit works like a champ. Another great night of flying.
Okay, so the smoke kit from PPG Smoke, pretty solid, easy to install. From what I've seen, it looks like some other people are actually getting a little bit more smoke than I'm getting. And I'm starting to think that might have something to do with my motor. I'm running a mini plane top 80. That's about the smallest paramotor you can get. So flow rate of the exhaust is probably less than just about any other paramotor, along with the actual energy that the exhaust passes through in terms of heat is probably on the lower end. So I think that might have something to do with it, but still, the smoke kit's rad. You'll probably see it in a lot of videos coming up. That wraps this up for now. See you guys next time.